You've spent hours crafting the perfect piece of content. You've poured your heart and your soul into either this long form video, this blog, this podcast, but now you sit down and realize that you have to create content for all your other social media platforms too. How can you maximize the impact of your content without doubling your workload? Well, that's what we're going to be covering in today's video. These are the best content repurposing tricks out there that every single business owner should know. Everything from transforming long-form YouTube videos to smaller TikToks and Reels to transforming podcasts into blogs and social media captions. But make sure you stay until the very end of this video because I'm going to be sharing with you one of my favorite tools that actually allows you to repurpose your content automatically. So grab your favorite beverage, cozy on up, and let's get started. Okay, so number one is actually repurposing your long form YouTube videos into smaller videos for TikTok and for Instagram Reels. So those vertical 60-second short pieces of content. And you can actually do this using AI to make it extremely fast. Some of my favorite AI tools to do this are Descript and Opus Clip. To learn the full tutorial on how I use both of these tools to do this, you can check out the YouTube cards above. Number two is turning podcasts into blog posts. This one can work in both directions. So if you have a podcast, you can actually transcribe it and turn it into a blog post. And if you have a blog post already, you can actually just read it off and turn it into a podcast. The same thing can happen here with video. So if you have a YouTube video, again, you can transcribe it, turn it into a blog post. And if you have a blog post already, you could video yourself delivering the material and turn it into a YouTube video. Next, to kind of take a piggyback off of that last one, we can actually take podcasts and turn them into social media captions, or blogs and turn them into social media captions, or YouTube videos and turn them into social media captions. I hope you're getting the idea here. Number three is that once you have these longer form pieces transcribed, you can actually pull little pieces out of it to create tweets or threads. And if you do this, trust me, you're gonna have so much content for those platforms that could be going out on a daily basis. Number four is you could actually create Pinterest quotes. So a lot of times, if you're actually reviewing your videos, you'll find that you'll say quotable things that you could actually pull out of your videos and put onto a templated quote card that would go onto something like Pinterest really easily. Number five is carousel posts. So the same sort of idea, you wanna be looking at your YouTube videos or your blog posts or your podcast, whatever sort of long form content you've created, and see if there's any points or steps or anything that you're teaching that could be pulled out and created into a series of images that are called a carousel post. So I find that these work really well if your video has multiple steps. For example, if your video was called 3 steps to using YouTube for your business, I could actually pull out those 3 steps that I say in the video and create a graphic for each one of them and turn them into a carousel post. The key here is to keep an open mind when you're reviewing this long form piece of content so you can really start to see where you can pull things out. Another great way that you can do this is by pulling out a piece of a story from within your long form content and putting that onto a carousel post. Or another one that I see happen a lot is case studies. If you're talking about an example of a student you have or a client that you had, you could actually pull out that case study and turn it into a carousel post as well. Number 6 is pulling out stats from your video or your podcast or your blog. Again, if you're referencing certain statistics throughout your video, you can actually pull those out and turn them into graphics that you can then put across all your social platforms. So as another example, when it comes to that, I could say, did you know that YouTube actually has 2.8 billion users looking at the platform on a monthly basis? And if that was being said in my YouTube video, I could then just pull that statistic out, put it on a graphic card, and then post it up on my social media channels. Number 7 is you can actually take questions that you're asking your audience in your videos or in your podcast and create polls on Instagram captions or your YouTube community. Another fun pro tip here is you could actually collect those questions and turn them into a fun quiz that could then be used as a lead magnet for your sales funnel. Number 8 is to take your social media posts and turn them into emails. And again, this works the other way around as well. So if you have older social media posts that you have looked at the statistics and you see that they worked really well, they got high engagement, people liked it, you can actually take that old piece of content, rework it, and put it into an email to send to your list as nurturing content. This is such a great way to nurture your email list without additional work. Number 9 is to take older YouTube videos and turn them into an email sequence to go out to your list. So again, we want to be nurturing our email lists with more than just a sales, right? But sometimes we sit there thinking, I don't know what to email my list, or I can't think of any ideas. But we've created this large bank of content on our YouTube channels or our blogs or our podcasts. So why don't we create emails that point back to that content bank, because that's creating value for your email list, and it's also giving you more watch time to your older YouTube videos. This can also act as a really great way to nurture your audience before you put them into a sales email sequence. Number 10 is to use AI to expand on some social media captions or posts. So again, go back to the different social media posts you have on your social platforms that have performed well. Grab a caption and post it into ChatGPT and ask it to expand on the material or go one step further or one step deeper in that material. Then take that output that ChatGPT has given you and turn it into a podcast, an email, a YouTube video. The list goes on and on. If you want to learn my exact process on how I repurpose all of my content, just like what I've been talking about so far, you can grab my content batching blueprint in the description below this video. Okay, number 11, and this is a juicy one, so I want you to lean in with me. You can take successful YouTube videos, blog posts, or podcasts and actually expand on them. So you could, again, use ChatGPT here if you're feeling stuck, expand on these videos that were working well, that your audience raised their hand and said they liked according to the stats, right? According to the data you have, and actually turn them into small digital products that you can then sell. Or you could actually use this material as a lead magnet or a mini course or something like that to start your sales funnel and nurture people into a sale down the line. This is a really great way to test out material and content before you pour a bunch of time and energy into creating small digital products that people don't actually want. Number 12 is to take testimonials that you've received and actually turn them into videos, podcasts, blogs, or social media posts. Number 13 is to take coaching calls or live streams and actually break those down into small video pieces to go across your channels. And then to take it one step further is you can actually take questions from those coaching calls or from those live streams that people have asked you, and then use that inside of smaller video pieces, captions in your social media, carousels, tweets, threads, emails. I mean, there's so many options here, but don't forget to think about the things that you're already doing and document instead of always having to think about what I can create new, right? If you're a coach and you're on coaching calls multiple times per week, there is nuggets of gold inside of those coaching calls that you can actually pull out and use in your social media content. Number 14 is, again, this goes along with the theme of documenting instead of creating. If you're going to a meetup or a conference or you're attending a networking session, what can you document during that time that you could use on social media? So I want you to think about B-roll clips. Are you going to be talking to someone where you could be recording your conversation? Think about the notes that you took during that conference. What could you pull out and share with everybody on social media? There are so many nuggets of gold, again, inside of these networking and conferences that you could pull out and use. You just have to think about it before you actually get to that conference and think about, what is my strategy here when it comes to repurposing this conference or this live event that I'm going to? And how can I make sure I have a system of documenting while I'm attending this event? Number 15, again, this is kind of following the similar lines of number 14, is if you have a coffee chat or a Zoom chat with someone else inside of your industry, could you be recording that and then again, chopping that down into other pieces of content, or using the things that you talked about as inspiration to then create content on? I've been on so many coffee chats with other people inside of my industry where we get chatting about something that's happening in the industry, or we get chatting about something inside their business that strikes up inspiration for me to then create content on. So if you're, again, recording and going into that call with the mindset of how can I repurpose this, there is so much stuff that you could do. And finally, number 16 is turning social media posts or videos into lead magnets, because we are all on social media to make sales and bring in leads, right? And so we want to think about what posts or what videos have done well in the past and how could we kind of maybe expand on that and create a lead magnet from that piece of content that we could then have people join our email list until we can continue to build that relationship with them. Okay, that was a lot of information I just threw at you. 16 ways to repurpose your content that every single entrepreneur should know. So let me know in the comments below, which one of these repurposing tricks do you want to try next? And do you have any extras that you think I missed? Let me know in the comments below. Now, I promised that I would tell you about one of my favorite tools that allows you to repurpose your content automatically. And that tool is repurpose.io. What this tool does is it allows you to set up automations where you can actually have the software itself repurpose and publish your content to all your social media platforms at once. So for example, if I had a new YouTube video come out, I could have an automation set up where it actually will cut down that YouTube video into multiple pieces of content and repurpose it to TikTok and Instagram all at once. This tool saves you so much time, but you want to make sure that you have it set up correctly. And so you want to make sure you check out this video right here where I'm going to be walking you through exactly how to set up repurpose.io to make this work for you. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and share this video to your social media channels so others can benefit from the material. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.